time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. He's right around the corner. He'll be here in a second. So but you know what? I got you for a few minutes. I got you for the first few minutes. I got something for y'all. This is what I got. Look at me. See, I'm messing up. But this is what I got. All eyes tonight will be on the Warriors tonight. All eyes. All eyes. NBA championship. Can they pull out the three-peat? Can they do what the Bulls did in the 90s? Can they do what the Lakers did in the early 2000s? Win 3 straight championships. And can they do it, Dodo, without the best player, Kevin Durant? That's the question that's going to be asked today, y'all. But before we get into anything, I got something for y'all, and I meant to do it yesterday, because if we don't do it, nobody else will. Congratulations to Lonnie Bunch. I want you to Google him. Lonnie G. Bunch III is the founding director of the Smithsonian National Museum of African American and History and Culture. He has been appointed the new secretary of the whole Smithsonian Institute, becoming a bunch of firsts. Y'all got to realize, not only he's the first African American in the 173-year history of the Smithsonian, but he's actually the first historian. Don't you find that kind of fascinating? Ain't the Smithsonian Institute, ain't that got something to do with history? But Lonnie Bunch is the first historian that they put in this position. Please, somebody find out who are the other people in these positions and what their profession was. But let me show you something. Lonnie Bunch takes over 19 museums, 9 research centers, and the National Zoo, and 7,000 employees. And he got a $1.1 billion annual budget that he oversees. That's Lonnie G. Bunch. Look him up out there. What's up, everybody? I know it's a sports day, but I'm waiting on Jimmy to get back. It's a lot of topics that I don't want to talk about, and he gonna come in. We're gonna talk about him again. But over the weekend, somebody called me. This morning when I was on the way in, and we was talking about the EYBL. It's a guy. He just comes and watch. We got guys that comes watch the EYBL in a lot of these tournaments. They don't have a kid in the tournament. They don't have a team in the tournament. But he heard me talking about the guy Deshaun Ruffin. And he told me, Mr. Hatter, that's the best player, right? That was the most exciting player to me in the whole EYBL. I said, what? He said that was the best player to him. And he was so excited. Y'all see, I talked about him to y'all because, I go to basketball games a lot. I go watch high school players now more than I ever did before. But I'm used to evaluating pro talent and watching pro talent. So, and I tell everybody all the time, I'm not an expert at telling you what little Johnny gonna do in college. I don't know. I don't know how he'll mid-major plus or major minus and all of them terms. I don't know those evaluating terms. But when I go in and see a guy like I saw this guy of Ruffin, he's not the biggest thing in the world, about 5'10", but he just did everything that. He had the crowd going. He was playing against top players. So it was so ironic. I talked about him. Somebody else called me about him again today. This morning. But y'all, let's talk about a little bit about the Warriors tonight. We're going to talk about everything. But the Warriors, Cousins, he's going to be activated tonight. And I don't know if you watch baseball and what happened. This child was struck by a line drive last night at the Cubs and the Astros game. I don't know if you saw that the player, I don't know what the player's name was, but he was so distraught when it happened. And you know, and my question to you, you know, I don't have a little kid, so I'm questioning you, shouldn't you, what do you think about those kids sitting that close and being able, your kid being able to be hit by a foul ball? I mean, what do you think about that? That's you know, what's up everybody out in Facebook land, but what do you think about it? You know, and Zion Williams, the projected #1 pick, he finally picked an agent. You know, I know people, we were premature that who was going to be his agent, but he had a family friend that was a friend of his, and the guy found out his certification was what you know had expired, so he couldn't represent Zion. The family friend couldn't. So I wound up the Cubs player was Albert Mora. That's the guy who hit a foul ball and hit the young girl that was in the Astros, in the Astros arena. But that's, you know, we got a lot of stuff. And let me see what we got on Facebook. Who we got out here? Let me speak to everybody first. Let me speak to everybody. Hey, Miss Anissa. Let me go down the line. Let me get this roll call on Facebook right now. Let me see if it's anybody. Rick Wilmore, what's going on? I got some more stuff for you. I talked to, I want to know what y'all feel about this underclassmen situation. A lot of underclassmen. I got a note from somebody. They said, Robert, they said 17, check this out now. I want y'all to help me with this. 17 college seniors and international players are currently projected to be drafted according to their latest forecast, leaving 43 spots left for the NCAA underclass. It appears to be around 100. I want y'all to look at these numbers now. It appears to be around 100 underclassmen that will leave their names in the draft. So folks will be disappointed on June the 20th. A lot of people will be disappointed. What does this mean? Some good college players are ready to get their professional career started, right? Like Jimmy said, let's try it. Despite not being a lot to hear their name called on draft night. But the market for the two-way contracts will be very strong, and the G League will have a big influx of young talent. See, these guys gonna go to D League. You know, somebody asked me the other day, said, why didn't R.J. Hampton's center me? I mean, I'm almost half pay attention to that. R.J. Hampton, you know, he went overseas and didn't go, you know, instead of going to the D League. But, you know, I mean, y'all look at it, but guess what somebody said to me? Somebody sent me a note and said, Robert, you know, we got all these guys leaving college. You don't want to be in college. And I want you, Rick Wilmore, Darrell Anderson, Lionel Gar, Chris Charles. I want y'all, who else? Kenneth Lofton. I want y'all input on this. If they do not want to go to college, they should go pro. Even if it's in the G Leagues or overseas. This is what somebody told me. They said they should give college sports back to student athletes who want to be there and value the experience. What y'all think about that? You know, I'm just curious. You know, what do you think about that? And then I happened to watch Quentin Grimes removed his name from the draft. And but guess what? He removed his name and then he transferred. I saw that with 3 other guys. They removed their name from the draft, but they said, I'm not going back to the college I was in. You know, I'm not going back. So I'm saying, what's going on out here? And hold on, I got something else for you. We have some drama off the court that we can talk about. We talked about it briefly yesterday, but let me talk to y'all something. We're gonna talk about it. I see your comments, but I'm gonna watch your comments. But I got something else for y'all. I got some more stuff. The Rockets have decided they are making everybody available this offseason, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. The possibility, he said, of trading James Harden is to believe to be extremely limited. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Doug Jones? Chris Paul, more than others, seem to be more realistic trade option. It should be noted that Chris Paul remaining money on his contract at 34 years old, that's $124 million for these next 3 years. So that makes him difficult to move. Do y'all think we can find somebody as dumb as the Rockets, as dumb as us, that we can get them to get this done? I mean, y'all help me out. I got a question. Should we trade? And it's almost blasphemy to me. Should we trade James Harden? I mean, should we? I'm asking y'all. I'm not saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Should we trade him? The extension talks with Mike D'Antoni has stalled, so he got 1 year left. So guess what? I heard from somebody that 30 seconds left. They say he's out of there anyway. So there is a possibility that they would blow everything up in Houston. Y'all can't trade my nephew. They trying to trade James Harden, man. I can't believe it. Hey, y'all, if it happened, I ain't gonna lie. I might be through messing with it. If James Harden get traded, I might be through messing with the Rockets. But Chop Shop, and we're going to wrap it up. Chop Shop, we'll be back in a minute. Jimmy will be back in a minute. I can't believe it. Trade James Harden. Chop Shop, be back in a minute. No, I just thought about that. I just thought about that. How can that happen? I had to think about what I was saying.
No, Chris Paul got them in a hole right now. Hey, Chris Paul.
Capella? Who wants Capella?
Nobody.
Andy Western said if they don't want to attend college, they should still have the right to earn a living doing. Yes, I understand. But just don't go. See, that's why they got to change the rule. Don't go to college. Just go do what you want to do. But see, it's some student athletes that want to be in college. Andy Western said trading Harden would be a panic move. Thank you, Andy Western. Thank you, man. Hey, what shoes I got for you, Doug? What is you talking about? Doug talking about I got some shoes for him. What shoes you talking about, Doug? You know, man, I get so many requests for shoes. Hey, trade Harden for an offer that's doable. LeBron versus Harden. No, I wouldn't trade LeBron. I wouldn't play for LeBron. No. Heck no. No. I wouldn't. Let me see what Angie said. James Harden can stay, but we need to take more or less a role. Well, then we got to have some better players, Angie. I think James would take a lesser role. What we going to pass it to? What's the boy name? From the G League? From here?
House.
You gonna pass it to Daniel House? PJ Tucker? PJ Tucker did good, but if PJ Tucker got to be your second best player, you in trouble. Jimmy run like he walking in now. He like PJ. Man, PJ Tucker. Man, PJ Tucker. Man, I ain't thinking about no PJ Tucker. If he got to be your second best player, you're terrible. Hey, Joanne Brito is on the line. Jimmy, boy, I got a Women Rock Wednesday guest for us. We got the line up. Joanne, make sure you send me that information.
If they ain't got no Facebook, we ain't taking them no more.
Yeah. Oh, she got Facebook. She on here right now.
I'm just saying. No, that's a
No. Little baby yesterday, she had her. I'll take her. Kelsey can come back anytime she wants to.
Facebook.
Without Facebook.
Or swimsuit issue.
But everybody, Jimmy, I tried to tell you, everybody don't have Facebook, man.
They gonna get it.
Everybody ain't thinking about no
Everybody hear
Facebook.
Sirius Radio.
Yeah,
what they doing now.
But people don't like Facebook because it's messy.
People ain't like satellite radio,
Yeah.
but they like, if they like,
Yeah, they get forward satellite radio, but Facebook free. Don't fight the feeling. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. We're going to take you on a roller coaster ride of sports and entertainment all over the world. Jim, I got so many tidbits for you today, but I was waiting on you because I know he's finna come in here with this stack of stuff and late. Y'all just look at this area right here, how clean it is. Watch how it gets. But you have a neat, Jimmy, you do have a neat, but Jimmy, when you was gone, you know, we're broadcasting live on the Power 101.5 FM, Houston, Texas. But Jimmy, it's another way. If you listen on the radio, you can go to our Facebook page, type in ChopShopHTX. You can watch us live in the studio today. And Jimmy, what is you doing over there? Well, keep on doing it. But Jim, we was talking about, you know, I threw a few things out there. You know, the Warriors played tonight. They got a chance to three-peat. You know, I threw the Rockets the Rockets making news and they're not even playing. You feel me? And they trying to Jimmy, I got a question for you. Because they said, when I said the chances of trading Harden, they said is extremely limited. Extremely limited, but that leaves that's that. So guess what? If New Orleans call the Rockets and say you can have Anthony Davis and Zion for James Harden, what you do? Would you do the deal?
there's a few players around the league that the Rockets would let James Harden go for. That's why they use the term extremely.
You show me one. You give me one.
Steph Curry.
Hey man, no, stop.
You want
No. Yeah, Jimmy, you can't be using my own folks against me. See, I'm getting tired of you, man, doing that because you don't claim nobody. So I can't get you with nobody.
Klay Thompson and package him with Kevin Durant.
You can have him.
You're gonna lose Kevin Durant
You
anyway.
can have him.
I'm just saying.
I'll take James and Clay on the same team. Both of my nephews on the same team.
That means we would have to re-sign KD. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or do you fall into the Chris Paul trap again? That's how you got Chris Paul. And you gave him.
KD ain't old, is it?
What are you get? Yeah, who?
KD ain't that old.
Okay, KD is about 4 years younger than
Yeah.
MVP.
So we at least get, you know.
But I'm just saying though, that's how
He's
you
big.
got him. You
Yeah.
gave him that gentleman's agreement on that last year. You follow me?
You remember what I said about that agreement? That agreement was made with Les Alexander. If I was Tim Fertitta, I would not have did that. I would not have honored that deal, Jim.
I mean, but at the time,
No.
understand.
Jim, that's a lot of money, man.
No, but here's the thing. Understand something. You came and the Golden State Warriors have appeared to bust up the Rockets team. Indirectly busting up their own team for a fragment.
Yeah.
And that is because Kevin Durant is going by default. They know they lost Kevin Durant. And we talked about this numerous times. Put it like this.
Jim.
How many times have you heard Kevin Durant get in front of any camera and says, that's a lie? I want to be a Golden State Warrior forever.
Jimmy, guess what I just found out? Kevin man ain't made up yet.
Ain't man made up about where he's going, where he wants to go.
Yeah.
He's gone from that.
Yeah, it's not
He's
made
gone
up.
from that.
It's not made up yet.
Not about where he wants to go.
Not about where he wants to go.
But he's gone from Golden State.
No,
He's gone from that.
Hey, let me tell you, little birdie. Little birdie told me now.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
It would have to be one of those movie type endings in the NBA playoffs to get KD to stay. Now,
Why would you think he want to leave? That's why. Since you're saying you're so dead, tell me the biggest reasons why this can't work. You.
I really believe that Kevin Durant wants an opportunity and embracing the opportunity to go and be first option and take him a team to the promised land.
Jimmy, he had that at OKC.
No.
No.
You know what was going on in OKC.
I don't care, but that was his team.
Dude, he and both Westbrook was in a really, really funky situation about their contracts. KD was going.
No,
his
no, they weren't talking about no
his
contract.
contract was because he would not commit to re-up with and Russ wasn't going to commit to re up if KD didn't commit
But that
to
wasn't
re-up.
a contract problem.
No, he was at the end of his deal.
Yeah, but I think, he had his own team. He was the MVP of the league.
No, at that point,
The regular season.
it had became, remember, the narrative had changed, and it was, some days was it Russ' team, some days was it KD's team. And then, it was like, you up 3-1 on Golden State, and fumble on the 2-yard line, basically, figuratively speaking, against the Warriors and lose the playoff series. And then the Warriors go up, 3-1, and they lose the next series. You remember that? 3-1s. But back to this KD thing, just watch real closely how this goes down, because he's in a really funky situation right now. If Golden State wins, then hey, who needs KD? That's going to be the narrative. If Golden State loses, it would be to the fact that at some point, okay, KD, you say you all of this, show us. Now, man, whatever he's done for you in the past, this is crazy. It's going to be like, show us right now. And just say if Golden State is down 0-2, for some reason. If they're down 0-2, you get back to Golden State for game 3. The fans are going to be like, okay, come on, KD, show us this. And that's what it's going to come down to in his legacy. KD comes back, does his magic MVP, finals MVP again for the 3rd time. Then guess what? Who knows? Maybe he could. But at the same time, Klay Thompson, what is he going to do next year? That's a mind that's probably not made up as well.
But it made it easier. We saved $30 million on it, so it made it a little bit more easy.
Is that all it is? It's 30?
Yeah, that's all. It say 31. 31.
Okay.
We saved 31 million.
And so that's I mean,
you notice I said we. But Jimmy, you know what? I like how I asked you one question. I asked you just about James Harden being traded. You went around the world talking about everybody else's salary. And what they make?
Well, I answered that question.
Oh,
One word. But guess what? Here's the thing with the Rockets, guys, what you're going to see. Right now, you see more and more comments coming from the owner. This owner has the capability, he has the symptoms. If you want to take the pulse, he has all of the symptoms
of Jerry Jones.
Of being a Mark Cuban.
Jerry Jones.
Well, I mean, I'm using basketball.
Okay.
Mark Cuban is not far from Jerry Jones now.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So we don't say Mark Cuban. We ain't gotta hide Mark Cuban behind Jerry Jones. He has all the symptoms of being a Mark Cuban.
Yes. That's a great point.
A guy that really wasn't part of this good old boy network that made his money.
He tried a long time ago and they wouldn't let him.
They wouldn't let him.
Yes.
And now he's in the door
Mm-hmm.
and he realized that there's a lot of room for growth in marketing with the team.
Oh yeah.
And as the Rockets. Especially with an ally. They still have an ally with Yao Ming.
Oh yeah.
To still have Chinese opportunities as the Rockets recently played over in China. Think about this stuff going on. These are markets that without unless you have a keen economic awareness, you don't really understand how valuable a team like the Rockets or how important they are, how loved or embraced they are over there. They have a different degree of loyalty than we probably do in some of the America over in China. A different whole degree. So this guy is talking, the owner, more and more. Every week, he's quoted in the interview with his chest stuck out. He's not doing like a lot of these other owners. They'll leak something out and the source got to go with it. He's letting you know himself. To hell with that running back theory. We ain't doing no running back. That's what I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he basically said. Yesterday's article in the Houston Chronicle on the front cover of the sports section. Hey, that's basically what this guy, the running back stuff, we tried that. Now we're going to try to get better. So that means they're not going to trade players just to have a fire sale. Now he did state that. Now, but how do you do that Because nobody in the NBA is going to take a Chris Paul straight up unless you are taking about 4 expiring contracts.
Jimmy, they might. Somebody
Well,
might.
that's what I'm saying. The only
Somebody,
way-
some team just want to splash, or know they ain't gonna win. But I don't know. But
I know
Chris Paul don't have a no trade clause either.
I know one team that probably would.
Give me one. Who?
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
The Charlotte Hornets.
Mike Jordan ain't doing that.
Listen now. No.
You listen all you want.
Hold on.
I don't care where you
Okay,
from.
so
I don't care where
if
you
you
from.
Charlotte, are you going to offer Kimball that boatload of $200 and something million?
I told y'all we're gonna get Kimber no money.
Was or was not?
I'm never gonna get Kimber that much money.
So bingo. So that means Kimber is you can.
But I still want this old man.
Understand something. If
I'm gonna pay somebody, it's
you're
gonna be the
going to
young.
lose Kimber, if you're going to
I'm
lose
not
him,
bringing no good.
Okay.
I sure wish you were the GM against me. I sure wish you were the owner of a team that I had. And you take Chris Paul.
if you're going to lose Kimber, who's the backup for Charlotte right now?
Don't matter. Tony Parker was.
It was Yao Ming. It was Tony
Tony
Parker
Parker.
this week.
It was
And
Yao
so
Ming.
who you call old?
But you said y'all be.
I mean, no, you heard me. I said Yao Ming. Yeah, I'm going across the corner. Think about it. You just said Tony Parker.
Yeah, but Jimmy.
No. Who's old?
Jimmy, I'm already losing. I'm not finna pay all these folks and still lose. I'm just telling you.
Chris Paul
I'm cutting.
is probably in better condition than Tony Parker is
No, Jimmy.
physically.
Jimmy, I'm not about to give Chris Paul $40 million to do nothing.
Understand
Nothing.
Understand something.
Nathan.
You Charlotte take it. Where's Chris Paul from?
I don't care where he's from.
Where's he from?
I don't care.
What state?
Don't worry about it. California.
Yeah, he from Charlotte. I mean,
No,
North
he from
Carolina.
Carolina,
He
yeah.
from home of Petey Pablo. Throw it in the air and wave it like a helicopter. That was Chris Paul from. That's what get him.
I get Dodo instead of Chris Paul.
I wonder what Capella thinking right now. That's what the deal is. Anyway, Chop Shop, we'll be right back after these messages.
A lot of guys say he missed the whole AM day. Well, you can go back to the past if you want to.
You be popping right now.
Yeah, you be back there by yourself. I don't like nothing over with money.
Dante Matthews, Kenneth Gamble.
What's up? Addison, what's up, man? Kenny Gamble. Oh, Jimmy, I got something for Kenny Gamble. Who's the greatest small player of all time? That's my argument today.
What's your height? What's your height limit?
I'm talking about
What's your height? Give us a height limit. Just implement your height limit.
6'2" and under.
Oh,
no, 6'3". Stephon Curry and under.
Man,
6'3" and under.
So 6 foot. That was a bunch of short guys before that was under 6
I
foot.
say who the best. I didn't say who
So,
you
But
greatest.
you include a lot more.
Isaiah Thomas is mine. Then the babyface assassin is right there. But it's an argument out there. Because they said, Isaiah said he wants credit for revolutionizing the point guard position. Y'all just talk about Steph because y'all prisoners of the moment. He said, wait a minute. Chris Broussard been on his butt leg. He said, so you running? He said, Isaiah said, dude, I was that dude. Thank you, King Gamble. Thank you. Hey, y'all, Jimmy, what I'm finding out, Jimmy, all you people with, what's the name of this device? That what you call it? I know it's a Samsung, but it's called something else. Android. Androids, for some reason, them Androids ain't been acting right. Because these OS devices working real nice. So get your iPhone too. Like I did. Yeah, just go see what YouTube. Somebody go over to YouTube and let me know how it's doing. Let me see, can I find? I don't know how to
It looks
find
good.
it.
I looked at it.
It look good on YouTube too? Yeah. What?
Just click on the link that I posted.
Okay, you all right, girl. I don't care what Jimmy said about you. Hey, man. Hey, guess what? Hey, my homegirl went and worshiped with me last night, man. Hey, my homegirl went and worshiped with me. You had out there drinking, and I have out here thinking. I like that. I like that.
I took it to communion.
Yeah, she sure turn that water into wine. Hey. Hey, man. Oh, yeah, Jimmy, yeah. Look at it. Let's see you on there. Corey Willis, what's up? He said YouTube is straight. Rob, your turn, Jim.
All right, 33 minutes past the hour. The Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. Don't forget, guys, tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time, the NBA Finals, Game 1. Who you're rocking with. We open up the phone lines for you guys this Baby Friday, 346-330-9473. 346-330-9473. And also, we'll show them, we'll do something different with them. We'll come up next segment. And if there's a viewer out there or a listener out there that want to Skype your call in, we may go ahead on and do that for you. Anything goes on, baby.
Yeah.
You want to Skype your what's the number? What's the email address? If they can call in on the Skype. ChopShopHTX.
Yeah.
At Gmail.
She nervous.
ChopShopHTX@gmail.com.
Call in. It's just gonna call in.
So that's, we're gonna do it like that. We're gonna revolutionize.
Oh, I see what she's doing. She got to do.
That's next segment.
Yeah, next segment.
Don't worry about
She gonna get it set up for y'all.
Yeah, that way Dodo got to pull something out. She got to pull a rabbit out.
You got to pull a rabbit out. I see what she was doing.
Now on this game tonight, and one thing I'm already glad about is that the people from Milwaukee and the Milwaukee Bucks fans and the anti-hip hop fans, because some people just hate just for the sake of hate. They went and tried to bring up the Drake on being on the sideline situation.
Yeah.
And
Adam Silver had to talk to him about it.
And that was during the formality, just to speak with him about it. And the thing is, Toronto, kind of mum about it, but here's one thing about Toronto. If Drake is indeed a documented ambassador for the team, then Toronto needs to come forth and reiterate and re-educate the community on Drake's role as an ambassador. That's one. Part number two is, I like to think the fact that the Golden State, they went and put the microphone in front of Steph Curry. And a lot of people, once again, people that aren't familiar with Drake or his hip hop, or his movement and his fandom, well, Drake made one of his songs, and a couple of songs that he's made in the lyrics have referenced support for the Golden State Warriors players. Support. I'm just saying, so there's no back. So they asked Steph Curry, and Steph Curry laughed it off. It's like, okay, we got E40 waiting on it. E40 sits at the end of the bench.
But Jimmy, that's how winners talk. See, whiners talk like Milwaukee. Winners like Stephon say, well, okay, we got something for him. We got E40. The whiners should have had who Milwaukee got? They had Gucci Mane.
What's the band though? There's a rock band that, once again, you have two sides of the coin. From some of the fans that went on social media and basically antagonized, demeaned Drake. I can't think of the name of the band. We were just talking about it the other day. And this band is from the Bay Area. And if
yes, I saw
any
it.
of our viewers on the social media feed,
I forgot the name of the group.
That band, post it so we can share it. But I can't think of them right now. But now I'm just so glad that and I hope, understand, Drake is part of the fun that's in the NBA.
But Jimmy, he's walking too far. Jimmy, most fans are not allowed to do. That's the part. He crossing the line.
Walking too far where?
Out on the floor. He close to the floor. Most fans in them seats.
They can go up and down laterally.
No.
But not out.
Most fans in them seats, those seats down there, Jimmy, do not do the things that this guy's doing. Even Spike Lee don't go that far. So Drake going all down there, rub the guy on his shoulder. He walking back here. He going out of the batter's box, out of the coach's box. So he really is doing just a little too much. But the players should, I mean, it's the play. Like Stephon said, I welcome it. Because Steph don't talk crazy to him. See the Greek freak that admit, sit there, Greek. You know, he don't know how to trash talk. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they whining about it. You know, like I said, it's winners and it's whiners. You know, the winners ain't worried about it. So you win. Hey, what I tell you last week? You want to set Drake down? Beat him. He's a fan. He's the root word for fanatic. Fanatic.
Yeah.
Fan. So keep going.
I mean, so in this game tonight, was going through, and of course, Kawhi, all eyes are on. You mentioned it at the beginning of the show. The Golden State. That's the series that they can three-peat. But now, Kawhi Leonard, what is he going to do tonight in this game? And you have to realize, Kawhi Leonard has to produce a supreme game in order for Toronto to have a chance to win. Steph Curry don't have to have a supreme game. Klay Thompson don't have to have a supreme game.
Yes, they do.
Not a supreme.
Now they do. Jimmy, since they've been winning, he had to have supreme game.
Yeah, but
Since they've been winning.
But you know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson can have a supreme game, and Steph Curry can have a 20-point game.
They don't have that luxury no more. The big fella out.
I
Jimmy,
understand.
the big fella just went out now.
Before the big fella came, it has been moments where Draymond could come out there and produce a triple double with an 18.
But they don't have the luxury. You thinking like that? I don't think they have the luxury. With Kevin Durant, they don't have the luxury. They don't. Those guys got to play, man. These guys got to play, man. In this finals, ain't before a game. They don't. To me, they don't have the luxury.
You have to realize one thing. That's Kawhi. Okay, that's different from Curry. Curry is not going to have a long-term assignment guarding a guy like a Kawhi. Even if Kevin Durant came back, Kawhi would have to defend Kevin. Would have to defend KD. He would have to defend Klay, and often Draymond.
So why he not?
And then expect him to come back on the offensive end and produce a supreme offensive game.
Help me out with this one. Help me out with this. Why he guard? You say this man, he can't guard all of them at the same time, Jimmy.
I'm talking about during the course of the game. He will have to.
So when he ain't guard him, what?
He guarding the one of the other ones.
Something about that just don't make sense to me.
What I'm saying to you, if KD was playing tonight, Kawhi Leonard would get the defensive assignment to start the game off on KD.
So that okay.
That's a work.
Okay,
he's not playing tonight. So
Okay.
let's take it out the
So
equation.
you think Kara give him some work
Tonight, Kawhi is going to get Draymond or Klay off the jump. I thought it would have been Iguodala to give him a little bit more rest, but no. They don't want Klay that far. They don't want Kawhi. They want Kawhi to be able to rattle or stymie one of those guys because he's definitely one of the best defenders.
Well, let him keep on defending. Then he ain't scoring. I want him to defend.
But that's the thing. What he does and what he does all the time.
I want him. He don't do it all the time, man. Not all the time.
Kawhi guarded Greek Freak.
Okay.
What you mean?
See, I can guard him too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Not the entire game, but that was his first defensive. He was the primary defender on it. And so that's the thing. This guy has to go and pull double duty. For example, with the Rockets with James Harden. James Harden, his primary, day in and day out, he was not required to defend the opposite team's best player. This guy is defending the best player and producing. Not just that ain't just his role. So we're
And he don't average 36 points either.
What, 31?
36
in his postseason.
He don't average yet for a whole season. So James Harden, I'm not gonna ask you. I'm not gonna ask. Kawhi don't average no 30-some points for the season.
For the postseason.
Okay, but
31.
But when you mention James, though, James. James don't go and defend nobody. He ain't dude. When you average 30-some points again, I'm not gonna ask you. You better find some of them bums over there to defend somebody.
So you don't think? Understand?
But James is one of the best defenders out there. I got his stats. I got his stats.
Understand? His stats is why he's guarding Understand, when you're going into a different
One-
territory, his starts
one of the
about
best post defenders.
His stats is why he's opposite the team's not their best player.
Well, guess what?
So Kawhi's
He's excelling in what he does.
Okay, so
defensively.
so understand what you take a 31 a game, and you're defending, and you're
You know, and he threw for 31 in the playoffs.
in the postseason, and you're defending and stymieing
But guess what?
the best player on the other team.
But he ain't played this team yet in the playoffs. Then it matters what team you play. So you think every team, you think he gonna go out there and do that on everybody?
If it's a series, he's expected to. Now, at this point, all everything go out the window. Ain't no excuse. Kawhi Leonard is expected to perform and attain the same level of dominance that he's done to get them here. That if you don't, then you end up choking possibly. You just can't. I mean, of course, you want to go out with a fight.
I got a question. He can't play defense. James Harden led the league in deflections and post defense. Was second in the league in steals, first among guards in steals, and fifth among guards in blocks, and received all defensive first team votes. And you just tell me he can't play? And Rick Wilmore talking about I'm tripping? Real Rick, you tripping.
Yeah.
You tripping. Those are facts right there, son. I know y'all want to whine because y'all don't like James, but I'm giving you facts. And I know I gave an analogy a little while ago about affirmation versus facts. I can give you facts all day long, and Jimmy gonna still up and say, dude, the numbers don't lie.
Okay, now, the numbers don't lie, right? If the numbers don't lie, then how can you justify with those stats you're not making first or second?
He received
a vote.
Votes up.
Okay, so still, receiving a vote. I didn't ask you about receiving a vote. That means I'm down with you if I'm a sports writer. I'm on the panel. I'm down with you.
I'm a
So
sports
that means,
writer.
why didn't he not make all defensive teams
But y'all
first
act
or
like he
second?
can't play dead.
Okay, so why didn't he make it last year?
That's what I'm saying.
Crickets.
Jimmy, I know crickets.
Why didn't he make it year before that?
You know what?
Hold on. Why didn't he make it year before that?
I'm sitting up here like, Shop, we'll be back in a minute. Dude, I'm sitting up here like, when you give some people facts and they come with this mess, affirmation, but what did I tell y'all the other day? Man, you know what? Man, I'm figuring this thing out. I'm really figuring, you can sit up here and say, this thing is, hold up. So, this paper is white. We got guys out here like Rick Wilmore and Jimmy Hicks. Well, Robert, it might have some traces of red in it somewhere. Deep down in the bottom of it, when it was first made back in 1923, it had some red in it. Man, y'all got to be out y'all mind, man. Y'all got to be out y'all mind.
I'm looking at the list, guys.
Y'all got to be out y'all mind.
And I'm looking at the list. You know, they have a first team all defensive and a second team every year. It's two teams. First team, second team. And I'm trying to find a year that James Harden has ever made any one of those teams as a Houston Rocket.
I give you information,
As a Houston Rocket.
and he using his affirmation. That's my thing.
So
Affirmation versus
That means
information.
the people, understand, not saying first team. Those stats would constitute first team. You didn't even make second team.
I just gave you facts.
And it ain't a superstar. This ain't a superstar driven team. When you make all defensive team, those are like gritty guys.
James Harden led the league in deflections and post defense.
So that means
was second in the league in steals.
That mean
First among guards in steals. Fifth among guards in blocks.
Why you guarding the fifth?
And receipt.
Why you guarding the fifth option on the other team's offense?
Wow.
Most of the time. You guarding the fifth option.
I give you information, and you come with your
So that
affirmation.
means the people that's voting, they see through those numbers.
You don't vote. You just go. So you going? I'm giving you a fact right here.
No,
I'm giving you a fact.
That's like the kid. That's like the guy who leads the SWAC, plays in the SWAC, but leads the nation in scoring. And we had one about 4 or 5 years ago at TSU.
Not the same. That's some more affirmation.
But what people will say,
some more affirmation.
No, but his people will say, man, this guy averaging 30-something a game, leading the country. U of H had one too, Aubrey Coleman, a couple of years back.
You can't, because this guy the MVP. No. You can't use that out. This guy the MVP of the same league.
No, No.
No,
You
no,
telling me
no,
I
no,
can't
no.
make the same? Yes,
No,
it is
no,
the
no,
same.
no, no,
So
no,
when
no.
people says who you scored that against, who you scored that against ain't gonna translate to the next level. Ain't gonna translate to get my votes and prove you to make you first team All-American. So they didn't get that TSU guy first team All. He made first team All Sweat.
Jimmy,
Not first team
Jimmy,
All-American.
oh my God, dude. If that's what you came with,
Dude,
you just
The
information
people
versus
that,
affirmation.
The people that voted, if they felt that way, why wasn't there outcry?
Information versus affirmation.
Where's the outcry? That was outcry on the MVP side when he didn't get it right.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Haller alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, broadcasting on the Power 101.5 FM. Boy, y'all should have, hey, people in radio land, you should have been on the Facebook break. Affirmation versus information. Remember that. In this day and time, you can give people all the facts in the world, and they gonna come with their opinions. They say, I don't care about no facts. They gonna get their opinion across, and guess what? And ain't nothing you can do about it. So guess what? I'm learning. I'm moving on. What's the next topic? What's the next topic? What's the next topic for today?
You ran into a dead end on that other one. That's crazy. You can't defend that dude to the flame. Didn't you just say you always going to prepare to not be a support of the Rockets because in 2 years they all gonna be gone. They're gonna try. They all gonna be gone from the Rockets in 2 years. And before this season, in 2 seasons,
Dude, I like Jane Hart. I don't like the Rockets.
No. Yes, you do. You say you're a Golden State Rocket.
Yeah.
You didn't say a Golden State Harden. So that means I said you better prepare to not like them anymore.
And guess what I'm gonna do? I can amend. I can drop it in.
As the facts,
like in school.
As the facts change.
No. As the facts change, the truth change.
There you go.
Hey, I can drop it in.
So now speaking of before we get to the amateur sector, we go and we have one more bit of NBA news to dive into, and that is Zion Williamson
Yes, sir.
has announced he's finally signed and identified and inked with his representation for the NBA, right? And Zion was going to sign with CAA, that's creative, what is it, creative?
Artist.
Something artists, right? Creative artists and whatever. You know, that's not my tree. But now his agents, he signed an agent and a manager, so to speak. So dual person. One is Austin Brown, and the young lady is Lisa Joseph. And Lisa Joseph, she's formerly Dwayne Wade's, probably still is. You know, she never got fired, even though he's retired. She's Dwayne Wade's manager. Austin Brown was Dwayne Wade's agent. So that's are they a duo or?
I had no idea about them people.
Yeah, so that's
Don't know.
so good thing about it, and one other things, in case you wondered, they're both African American, the agent and the manager. The Lisa, this thing, it seemed like it shocked a lot of people because as you mentioned, you touched on it earlier, you know, the plan was, and a lot of people within the loop of amateur basketball kind of had
Didn't know what they were talking
speculated.
about.
No, they did. They did. They was going with one of the friends of the family, right? And that friend of the family did not get his agent's certification, didn't pass the test, didn't get it renewed or whatnot. It had expired. And no, that's the reason that's out there now. But this guy was up in there. So now, at the same time, I think if it had expired, even so, then why didn't, unless the friend of the family is down with Austin Brown and or Lisa Joseph, then that means that's kind of like the real estate, the paralegal taking the case, and they can't represent you because they're not a lawyer, but they're giving it and let somebody else sign it. Or the real estate person that's not an agent, they're going and finding the property, doing the appraisal, and doing the bootleg work, and getting the house, taking it to the dad or the uncle, and they are signing the paperwork. So unless that's the deal, Otherwise, it's just, it's like, it's questionable. It's questionable. That's this CAA. Did they come out of nowhere? But at the same time, they got this deal here done, and he's the hottest commodity on the market in basketball that's coming into the draft, or coming into the NBA this season. So, and I put up a couple of clients for Austin Brown, Paul Gasol, some of the names, Donovan Mitchell, D'Angelo Russell, Colin Sexton. These are some of the guys, and of course, active right now in the NBA championship, Damian Jones, who was once a starter for a short term this year for the Golden State Warriors, and he's now a reserve, he represents him as well. But this is day one of the Zion sweepstakes. So, if you're going to go out, it's not to say I don't have a dog in the fight, but let it be known he opted to sign with an African American agent. So he's now is the firm black owned? I doubt it. Don't think so. But at least that's a consolation for some. Now, last night was the deadline for the collegiate players to withdraw their name or declare themselves fully engulfed in the NBA draft. There were a lot of surprises last night. And at the top of the show, Alan mentioned one that hits, because we're based out of Houston, Texas, and that's the Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes announced that he was withdrawing from the draft and simultaneously transferring from University of Kansas. Now, people, once again, within the loop, knew or had a great feeling that it was a mutual thing that Quentin Grimes wasn't going to come and play at Kansas anymore. They had moved on because, number one, the word was that Devin Dotson was coming back. Number two, you can get a relationship with a coach and a player, and it can sour. The coaching staff, the head coach, he's the one that's making serving you in and out. It wasn't the same sentiment as it was when he was on the recruiting trail for Quentin Grimes. And likewise, it happens. He's not the first kid to fall out of favor, but more importantly, and that was more piercing, was throughout the season, the Kansas Jayhawks fan base had totally turned venomous against Quentin Grimes.
Now,
the fan base. And if we understand how
the fan base in what city?
From the Kansas Jayhawk fan, they don't live in the same city. They all support the same city, but collectively, and they know it. And the thing is, while people say, "Well, man, I don't pay attention to that," paying attention to it and seeing it, that's two different things. You see it. Now, you might try not to pay attention to it, but it takes its toll after multiple accounts on social media, multiple fan organizations and fan blogs, and they're all majority voicing their displeasure about this young man. It takes its toll. Understand, his parent went to Kansas. So now, here's the thing I'm unraveling this later. I saw the word transfer last night. I started laughing because here's why. It's either two things I want to interpret this transfer word as, and I'm watching it real closely. I don't know, but this is what I'm thinking. If you felt good enough to remember, first of all, let me give you a precursor. A year ago, Quentin Grimes was projected. It happens every year. They're going to miss on about two of them, and he wasn't the only one. I'll tell you about another one in a second. Projected as a lottery pick in this year's draft a year ago. So guess what? They followed their nose and felt, whatever the case. A year later, he's not even among the top 60. So he pulls his name out. But if that was the plan and you felt that you was good enough to throw your name into the draft, obviously you pulled back out because you felt that you probably got intel from a lot of GMs that they probably wouldn't want to take you with either of their first picks, first or second round pick. And then there might have been a team that you might would have think that you had an option with, and they probably might not have a spot for you on their summer team roster. Guys, they're putting together their summer team rosters pretty much already right now. NBA teams are. And mind you, the G League players are eligible to play on some of the summer league rosters. So don't forget about those. So here's what I'm getting at. If you're going to transfer to a D1 school, you got to sit out 1 year. Sit out 1 year unless you get a waiver from the NCAA. And the NCAA just 2 weeks removed saying they're going to crack down on the amount of waivers they are going to grant to transfers. They said this, I didn't say it. So they just announced that they're going to crack down. They're going to have a mass crackdown on the transfer. Then Mike Bray, the head coach of Notre Dame men's basketball, came out last week and doubled down and challenged the NCAA to keep their word. If you're saying you're gonna crack the whip, well, when you gonna start cracking the whip? And he's the president of one of the councils that they met last week. So now, if you're gonna transfer, sit out a year, play again. That'll be 3 years in college. So you think now, mind you, I'm saying if Quentin Grimes is gonna transfer, he didn't say transfer to D1. He might transfer to a JUCO where he can play right away at one of maybe the top JUCOs or top 2 or 3 JUCOs in the country. That may be his bet. Or look over at R.J. Hampton and try to get on that team now, or get over in that league, which is considered one of the more watered down international leagues, and get over there and try to play over in that league. They're gonna have a bunch of attention on them for at least for a month.
What if Melo Ball over there too?
That league will have more attention, at least for a month. You know, that may be the thing for Quentin Grimes. I just can't see him sitting out a year and then coming back and playing another year and then join. Now, I can't see it. You fall whatever you want to. Come on, I wasn't born yesterday. Chop shop, we were at.
What is somebody falling for? I don't understand. I didn't
falling
understand
for all
what
day.
they saying. So you be talking to these folks around here. What are they saying?
What do you mean?
He knew he wasn't gonna go back to camp. What do you expect them to do?
Okay, what the portal? You put your name in the portal for what? To transfer. But you have to put your name in the portal to transfer to a JUCO as well. That's called a JUCO transfer. You ain't got to just go to D1 just to but you got to put your name in the portal.
I just don't understand.
Because the portal mean they got to give you a release. That's what the portal means.
What do you think is his plan then? Do he want to play pro basketball?
Yeah, obviously.
Well, go to the G League.
That's the whole thing. That's
go overseas.
That's the case. He wouldn't even took his name out of the thing. He just went on and pursued that. You see, coming from. So, what is the reason for you putting your name back in the portal? That's the thing. See, it's two different things.
I don't know his plan.
Well, I mean, even if nobody knows but him officially. But you can speculate. Some things you can connect dots. Connect the dots. Connect the dots. Why the hell would you even put your name in the portal?
Dude, I ain't never heard of nothing like this.
It ain't never. Why? See, now the other player I was telling you guys, he wasn't the only one. So Quentin Grimes is not by himself in this. But his situation is by itself. Explain to you why. There's another young man that was in the NBA draft lottery a year ago, and guess what? He pulled his name out yesterday. You know why? He wasn't part of the top 60 either. That's Charles Bassett. Charles Bassett, know the difference? He's going back to school because the door is wide open.
Why the door not back open at camp?
Oh, man.
Damage
is done over there. Look,
remember
the old slow song? Roberta, what was it? Not Roberta Flack. Who was it? Rolls Royce. Love don't live here anymore. Love don't live here anymore.
I mean, what happened?
No, it just was a bad. It was what they call it. It was I don't want to say toxic. It just wasn't a bad relationship, and so Latrice, you asked why does he have to sit out a year wherever he lands? If it's a Division I school, per the rules, if you're going from a D1 to D1, you must sit out 1 year. And unless you file for a waiver, then you would be at the mercy of the NCAA to grant that waiver. However, this is a time that is going to be very, if you're doing that, they're not going to grant that waiver probably until October, right before the season starts. They're gonna do it this early. They're gonna make you wait your butt enroll in school and go through the motions. Then they'll give you that. All right, we're officially on the back nine. The Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. Man, got so much to talk about, man. We're talking NCAA talk. And during the break, for those of you in your vehicles right now, you probably missed the conversation during the break, and I promised you last segment that I would give you the second player that was in a similar situation as Quentin Grimes, and that was Charles Bassett. He goes to Western Kentucky. He was a young man who played high school basketball primarily in the state of Texas, right out of San Antonio area. But he decided to go back, to withdraw his name, and will return to Western Kentucky. Why? Because the door was wide open and he was embraced and welcome to come back. And there was no ill will between he and the head coach at Western Kentucky. So now we go.
But I like to say, so Charles Bassett was projected as a
yes, that's a lottery pick a year ago.
So that just show you when you look at these mock drafts.
Yeah.
Don't go too crazy over these mock drafts.
It happens every year to somebody. Every year. If you go look from right now in that NBA draft,
but somebody, it happens to more than somebody.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just being modest. I'm talking about the lottery.
Right.
The lottery portion.
Okay, the lottery.
In the lottery portion, it happens every year to somebody.
Because things change.
Now the thing with these two, they went from lottery to not even being in the second round. That's what makes it rare.
But I got a question, because I didn't watch Quentin Grimes play that much. I didn't watch him play that much. Jim, are these guys that bad now? What's the difference? I mean, I didn't watch, and I never watched Bassett play. Did these guys get that bad within a 12-month span?
Well, I just think expectations when you're in that era, that shelf, the top shelf, when you're projected to be the magna cum laude.
Did you say? Because somebody on here saying that you said that Quentin Grimes was a lottery pick last time. I ain't never heard you say that.
I don't get in no stuff like that.
I ain't never heard you say that.
No, I didn't say that. That's somebody on the YouTube.
Yeah, heard, baby.
No, heard.
He on the YouTube.
No,
yeah.
No, I don't get into that. I don't even get into. And you know that. I think about it.
I
don't even get into the pros and who are pro. I don't do that. I don't even get in those conversations. I don't know what the hell one look like. I stay in my lane. I'm an amateur. I can tell you what it looked like to make it to a camp. I can tell that's not what I do and not what I'm concerned with. If I wanted to be that guy, I would have been that guy. So that no, I don't. So I want to correct you on that. But anyway, back. Of course, you guys can feel free to exchange and share your comments on our Facebook feed. Go to our Boom Boom Room. That is ChopShopHTX on Facebook. You go to Facebook, type that in, and I think Latrice asked the question: why does a person why would he have to sit out? Right? Or I know another question she asked. I answered that one during the break, but she asked the Lawson kid that played at Kansas. He's going to be in the draft, and I'll come back and look because Haller's from Memphis. That's his Memphis kid, and I will look up and let you know shortly if Lawson stayed in the draft. Now, one of them the younger one is transferring from Kansas. Now I do know that. I think the other one was a senior. He had no choice. I don't think, and that is it Dedrick Lawson?
Yeah.
One is transferring.
Yeah.
And the other one, did he stay in the draft? or not? That's one of the viewers are asking.
Oh, I think Dietrich stayed in.
He stayed in?
Yeah.
Was he a senior or junior?
He was the one that had to go.
That's what I thought. I thought he had no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
junior?
Oh,
That's right, because he stayed out of here.
He said,
Stayed out of here.
a junior on the court.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
a senior in the class. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
He old enough.
So he stayed in.
I think so. I didn't see him take his name out.
Where's the younger one
yeah.
going?
The young one, I don't know where I don't know where he going. I don't know why. They told him to get away from that too. But something about Kansas. I'm gonna tell y'all. Jimmy, I know these might be your friends at Kansas, but Jimmy, I don't think I'm sending my kid to Kansas. Kansas just something about Kansas, man, that just ain't right. You know, I don't know. I think it's, you know, everybody love Kansas, but something about Kansas, it's just too many things go wrong in Kansas to me.
Such as what?
I mean, everybody. Kelly said the man told Kelly he don't never want to see him in Lawrence, Kansas again. Who else? I talked to the Lawson's dad, Billy Preston. I know he ain't never going there no more. I mean, he probably, and my kid, another kid from Memphis. I put it like this: my Memphis kids, don't y'all go, because the other kid, the shooter who was shooting all the threes from Memphis. Oh my goodness! Somebody tell me. I know his name is right on the tip of my tongue. He quit the team today and told Bill Self what he can do with himself. And Self told him what you can do back. Oh, what's the kid's name? Yeah, but come on, Jimmy.
To whose name?
The shooter from Kansas. See, I didn't watch Kansas.
Vic.
Vic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Vic. The Gerald Vic. But yeah, it's so Kansas just ain't a good place for me. To me, you know, you might like Kansas. To me, it's just not a good place. It's too much stuff going on,
and
that's why RJ told me he wanted to go.
Yeah, that was what.
Unbelievable.
They would, if he had gone to college.
Unbelievable.
That would have been R.J. Hampton's choice.
Unbelievable.
Even though Dotson was coming back,
Mm-hmm.
and that Dotson coming back may have helped nudge the decision in that direction.
Dude, they had this thing set up a long time.
Well, that's, you know.
They was gone. Like a turkey through the car. Jim, it's already set up for him over in New Zealand. Beautiful place though. I think you heard, Bill Self is a gangster. Don't get it twisted.
Well, and you know, the thing is a lot of people want to go and hammer it home on the Quentin Grimes thing.
I'm not hammering Quentin.
No, people understand.
Mm-hmm.
Quentin Grimes in, you know, College Park High School is where he attended before going to Kansas. That's located in the Woodlands. The Woodlands is north of Houston, about 30 minutes north of Houston, right? So that Quentin Grimes, you know, that doesn't mean he's not the first.
Jimmy,
or the last.
He looked like a pro to me. I'm just gonna tell you. He got the tools. He got the body. He got the length. And when he was shooting the basketball, he looked like a pro. But when he can't make the basket, he can't make a basket, he just couldn't do nothing else. And that's what happened. When I used to see him and I thought he was good enough, when he was making baskets. Now, I mean, he just looked like a shell of himself. I don't know what happened.
Understand how the trajectory of it, of the pattern of what happened. Okay, Quentin Grimes in the 10th grade, he played with the Houston Hoops.
Right.
And going into the 10th grade. And they didn't, they didn't embrace him and want him back. Said if they brought him back, he was going to play 16s.
Right.
So then,
that's in the 10th grade.
then that's going in the 10th grade. So Rossi Karen
So
with
you can play
Basketball
17.
University said, you know what? They put you on the side of the road for heavy trash. Come on.
But Jimmy, let's stop. Can I interject right there? Just because somebody put you on the 16 don't mean you're heavy trash, kids.
But that's not the logic of, and that's been bestowed upon many in a city such as Houston.
Okay.
And so they went and they put him on the 17s, right? So I did on Adidas squad,
and he did well.
And the team did well. He had teammates like Greg Brown, right?
Oh yeah.
He had Will Baker. He had Xavier Wheeler. All these guys, Xavier played his age group.
See that?
So he wasn't on that team.
So it's all right.
So it's definitely all right.
Okay.
Especially after what you've seen has been proven over and over, because a lot of the guys that are getting the anointations from the DFW area
right.
are playing their age group. But in this situation with the Quentin Grimes, he got invited to Adidas Nations. Right? Then he got invited to USA Basketball.
Yeah, and he did well.
Hold on.
MVP.
He made the team. They won the gold medal
When he
across in the FIBA, and he won MVP
Yes.
of the 16 and under Team USA. So after that happened, that's when I made the phrase he had been anointed.
Okay.
Meaning the resume
The resume
was there.
Okay.
Now, still back home in Houston, Kendrick Davis had the street cred.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Quentin Grimes had the accolades.
He had the resume.
And it's two different things in America and in life,
And
guys.
they played against each other. I think
And
Quentin won.
I matched them up against each other.
Yeah.
Now, Sam Houston won the game. But Quentin Grimes, and
That's what I'm talking about,
and
the
there was a
game.
game going in. Sam Houston had the better team. They played in the season opener, both in the way in the 12th grade. They played their high schools played against each other in November. First game of the regular season. Everybody's free.
Do you remember?
And Kendrick Davis's team won. He scored like 29 points. Quentin Grimes' team lost. He scored like 31 points. So that's a wash.
Okay.
Both excited the crowd and had moments in there where it was like, okay. So now you move on still as a freshman, because expectations were higher going into his freshman year. Quentin Grimes made the McDonald's game.
Yeah.
You see?
But at Kansas, Jimmy, I'm gonna fast forward. At Kansas, I saw him play. Jimmy, they put him in a position to excel. He just couldn't make a shot.
That's what it comes down to.
I
At the end of the
promise
day,
y'all, it's not simple, but he had wide open shots. He couldn't make. Then he turned into, okay, I can't hit my shot. I'm gonna swing him. He came to a swing guy. Swing it. So man, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean,
I just
that's
don't
there you
understand.
have it. So a lot of
Okay.
people can understand
Okay.
how it got into that space, and some people that don't live here wonder, well, how do people in Houston feel that way about it? Well, understand.
I like the kid.
He turned down opportunities to come in and play in different Rock on Wood.
Okay.
You know, certain things that could have
Yeah, y'all be hating on him. Okay, you're right. Y'all get mad at him.
No, I'm not mad at
Chop
him.
chop. We'll be back in a minute. That's right. Hey kid. Hey mammoths and
Man,
kid.
just-
Play in that Rock on Wood.
No, you just be prepared for the consequences. If you're gonna do it your way,
Do it your way.
then do it your way, and don't be sitting there and say,
Don't come after you for no help.
because after a while you're gonna say, man, that's wrong, man. Why y'all leave that kid? Oh, because that's the other part about it. During the course of this season, first game of the season, Quentin Grimes hit 6 threes. Kansas win, national TV. Who was at Michigan State, I think it was, and everybody going.
We in the gym.
Everybody going crazy. See, I told y'all got it wrong. That he a pro, and it's that. So then that same energy wasn't there when he started to struggle.
It ain't gonna be there.
Then on social media, so you have Alex Pugh on one side, you have Ben Perkins on the other side, and they're going on social media throwing innuendos. You have Dane, you have
Bob was in there.
Booker, you have Bob. So all the guys, people watching, but at the same time now, those guys laughing right now. They giggling. They snickering.
You know what I like
they
about
got
Bob?
a toothpick in their
Bob
mouth right
said,
now.
man, you know what? I didn't know he was gonna be that good. Now he can sniggle again.
That's what happens on this.
Okay.
You see, everybody, the Texas Cyclone. That used to be called. That was a roller coaster that was popular back in the days of Astroworld.
Right.
They had the main roller coaster called the Texas Cyclone, and that thing go like that. Or they had a grease lightning that go like that, and that's what happened with this kid. So my thing is now, now it's time for both sides of the fence. Well, the other side, they're laughing.
What
right
the
now.
kid need to do now?
No, just ball out. And people like the trainers and the workout guys need to shut the hell up now, because guess what? You playing far from behind. You playing.
So why y'all don't like it when the workout guys say
because
something?
Bill Self,
Who works him out?
truth be
Who
told,
works him out?
Ben Perkins is his workout guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Or was.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, I didn't know.
So understand, this guy, you're hush right now. Ain't nothing you can do right now. All you can do is now say, man, they hating. Guess what? Yeah, they was hating. But you was hating on them. They was hating back. That's how it goes sometimes. You think that's something? Look at what the hell going on right now with LJ Cry. And y'all like y'all don't see what's going on.
What's going on?
Just all type of just different the animosity and the
other people
in the community. Well, he don't deserve to play. Why he gonna play? He ain't played in no dip. Wait a minute.
Why?
So the hell with mastering the Adidas circuit last year.
Right.
That means you tested out.
Right.
You ain't have to come to class this year. Test it out.
And guess what? It was on the team that the kids who led that Adidas circuit in what? Assists, right? Huh?
Yeah.
And guess what? A lot of them assists was shots to buckets he made. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hall, alongside Jim Hicks, and he's smoking over here, man. It's some fire coming from under his hat over here. Hey, you got some water? Anybody got some water? Bring the water hose, cause y'all gonna crank my man up over here. But Jimmy, where we gonna go? It's you know what time it is.
That's going on that time.
This is about the time.
For the
Starting five. Jimmy, who is the starting five?
The starting five is basically your first 5 viewers that log on to the Facebook feed at the top of the show. This means, midway through the show, we come back and we acknowledge you guys. We reward you, show our appreciation for you by simply calling out your name. Give you some office cred, some street cred, car cred, work cred. Wherever you are right now, give us some cred from the Chop Shop. And we appreciate you guys for your support. Without further ado, I had to give them that starting five for today.
Yeah, Slick Rick Realmore, Anthony Weston, Lionel Gar, Corey Willis, and Angie Holcomb. Those are my starting five today. And you was, that's right, you did, okay. That's the whole starting five today.
That's the whole starting five.
Okay.
And so this past, also one last thing on the collegiate ranks. Did you know that Coach Calipari's son has put his name
in the transfer portal?
In the transfer portal.
The daddy that ran the son off Jimmy.
Yeah, he's a junior, but he's expected to graduate.
He's gonna have 2 years of eligibility out.
That means, if he graduates, he gets
Jimmy, can he play?
And he can play immediately. You can have somebody.
Who?
He can have somebody.
Man, look, Ronnie can beat that boy.
No, man. This dude's he could be. Don't get it twisted now. Understand, that's Kentucky.
How you saying he can play? You seen him play?
What do you mean? There's D1 schools he can play at.
I asked you, can he play? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, can he? Yeah.
Where you seen him play at?
Come on, dude. I've seen him play in high school. I've seen him play in college.
Okay. So he wasn't no money kid. He wasn't no money kid.
He wasn't nowhere near that. That was a daddy ball situation.
Money kid, daddy ball, daddy ball, same thing.
Yeah, everybody knew that. That wasn't a thing. But now he's wanting to leave. That means now he wants to be his own dude. So now so guess what's going to happen? There's going to be an ally of Coach Cal that's going to take him in. And it's gonna say, "Come on, man, play." Actually, we give him some in, and he gonna actually get some burn, and probably gonna start somewhere.
Like Jim Bam, son.
Guess what, guys? If you don't understand, we can say and believe that relationships matter.
Don't matter.
Well, they do matter.
Okay.
And if you understand they do matter, then understand if you're doing Coach Cal a favor, what kind of relationship he can give you back in return. Just remember that. So there's a circle, and Coach Cal is one of the besides Coach K, he's the most coveted amateur basketball coach in the United States by Nike. Probably the highest paid.
So one of the Nike teams gonna have to add up.
Yeah, so just connect the dots. Somebody's gonna take his son, but you're not gonna take him if you're not gonna play him. That's gonna be counted because that means mama's involved in this one.
Yeah.
You understand how this stuff go now? You understand just how this going. So that's going to be funny. And in high school, his son shot 47% from 3-point range. 3-pointers a 3-pointer, Hal. It no matter who's 3-pointers a 3-pointer. Now don't get it twisted. It might have been some midgets in front of him, but he hit 47% of them. Understand that.
Jimmy, if you're by yourself, if you're wide open, Jimmy in the gym, if you're wide open, you can hit a lot of it. Just tell me.
Yeah. So
Guess what? They told me something. You know, I know we're gonna go into this, but let's laugh before we go into this. Okay? I want to.
You got a joke?
No, not a joke. I ain't got one. I forgot to go get my Red Fox show. But John Wick, you seen it yet?
The
You
part
heard about
3.
it? Yeah.
I was told not to go and see it. I was
Jimmy,
told
let
it
me
wasn't
tell
that
you
good. Is it good?
Jimmy.
Somebody said don't go see it.
People who don't like violence. If you don't like violence,
Oh,
then Jimmy.
some haters.
167 kills in this movie. Jimmy, hold on. 124 by gun, 32 by sword or knife. And Jimmy, the knife play in this movie was off the chain. Then he got 11 deaths by others. You know, like a horse that kills you, I mean, Jimmy. It's so bad, it's good. Top notch product. So 167 kills. I want to go see that.
167 kills.
167.
How long is the movie?
I don't know. I don't keep up. That's you going there talking. Man, I was in there for 2 hours and 22 minutes and 1 second. I don't keep up with that. You the stat man. But now, what we got? What you want? Let's go with. You want to go into this, right?
You're going to go into this, but first, we'll put this segment.
You won't put that forward there.
We're going to talk about some stuff that happened with the I guess the TASO. That's the Texas Association of Sports Officials in Texas. Some really disturbing situation.
Is it disturbing?
Yes, it's disturbing because it comes from the top, and I'll explain why we get into it. And we'll talk about that in a second because I want to give one of the referees an opportunity to join us in this conversation, if that's the case. I'm gonna give him an opportunity before I go in. That way now they.
What about our Skype? We need Skype in today.
You know we
ain't got time to Skype.
We'll see.
You know you got to plug that thing.
And so, but anyway, now we talked earlier about one of the topics that we promised to get into this week. That is the question that's an elephant in many rooms. Are these kids playing too much basketball? Are they playing too much sports during the offseason? Because the number of ACLs is at an all-time high. The number of ACL tears. And this is something that's really, really, people don't want to talk about it, but there was a great article in the Washington Post.
It's happening.
Well, a lot of the people,
the doctors get paid.
Doctors getting paid, so they not,
The doctors ain't complaining.
they ain't gonna complain. Huh?
Yeah.
So the girls, the ages of 15 to 25, are 5 to 8 times more likely,
Yes, girls.
to tear their ACLs playing basketball than boys. That's that's girls from 15 to 25 are almost 10 times, 5 to 10 times more likely.
Jim, it's a reason. I remember them talking about girls in ACL. I might have some notes about that somewhere. Some about women, the young girls, it's a little bit easier. I mean, it's more common why they have ACL. So what's the article about?
It's stemmed around. It's from the Washington Post, and the author is Samantha Pale.
Okay.
And this article was written late last week, a few days ago, and it was about in the Washington D.C. area. Mm-hmm. 3 of their top basketball players all suffered ACL injuries within a 6-month span.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One was a young lady and 2 young men. The young lady, Ozzie Floyd, she was named the girls' the girls' national player of the year.
Yeah.
Right. She's a sophomore at St. John. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right now. But once again, she was the girls' national player of the year.
Right. I remember her.
So we're not talking about 3 guys from the Peter Pan League. Now the other kid was Duke signee or commit Jeremy Roach, and and also Anthony Harris, who signed with North Carolina. Right? They all, now Anthony's dad had put precautions in place with his trainings that included rest days, rest weeks, and still, you know, you come down on the wrong way.
I mean,
you
what
come
are
down-
they saying? So it's just playing too much.
What it's saying
so
is
if
that-
he resting,
and it still happened to
it's
him.
still happening.
And exactly. So all we
Whoever cured that one, oh my goodness. Whoever, well, not cure it, whoever find the prevention of that one. Somebody want to know how to get rich? Find the prevention for ACL tears.
well, I mean, they broke it down. They say just imagine getting a paper clip and you keep bending it, and you keep bending it a period of time. You bend it back and forth.
It'll snap.
It's gonna snap. And sometimes the muscles will give out as you jump and it opens up and you land. Sometimes that muscle, you never know, it's gonna give out,
Yeah.
and it'll give out before you land. So when you land, the ACL is exposed, and that what sometimes
Man, don't
constitutes
play
a
no
tear.
more.
And they said we are pushing our kids to the limit where they're playing 365, 24/7. This is one of the orthopedic surgeons that they'll speak out about this.
So give me some rest days. Give me some cures.
So, well, some cures.
Yeah, rest.
Right now, that's
some
what
rest.
people still scratch their head. They're saying this,
It's just
that some people are saying maybe after the high school season, they should they just shut it down. That's coming from a high school coach, though. You see? You see what I'm saying? Maybe shut it down after the high school season because they're playing too much. But now it's coming from a high school coach who may not understand the logistics of recruiting, that most of your top players will be discovered during the summer. The coaches will come back to their high schools and water the grass during the high school season.
yeah, I ain't worried about that.
Because now they-
because that's the case, you can shut it down through high school.
And some of the comments you're going to hear, the triggers, you know, people put out stuff like, "While you resting, so and so is in the gym."
Oh yeah, I'd say that.
But
I'd
while
say
you
that.
doing this and resting, so and so is doing like this. He getting,
I say
you
that.
getting left behind.
Give what my son tell me.
What's that?
Tell me what I tell you right now. Well, that's him. I'm gonna give me some rest.
And that's something that's really, you know, once again, you go to
Robert
Washington
Craig.
Post and check out the article. It's a great article on, and it's basically not questioning are kids playing too much sports. That's by Samantha Pell. But meanwhile, we'll come right back on the Chop Shop and we'll get into that great convo about the tasso. And I wait to hear what this one sports official said the other day.
Hey man, y'all crazy, man.
Hey,
Baby,
yeah.
No, but it was one mold with our name on it. See that one?
oh, what about that one you had up there?
Yeah, no, he said that's supposed to be in the back so we could hear right through the radio.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Okay, I just
I
want.
think he was just doing that so we
Yeah.
could hear it right here. Yeah, I got it.
But we got to hear it right here anyway.
I'm gonna turn it on. If it was a call to come through, I'd turn it on.
Okay. So where they call it?
Right there.
Where's it coming to here?
Right there.
Oh, okay. Man, I'm gonna go get me a extension back. I'm gonna go get it this evening. Man. Come through. Yeah. You're crazy. Oh, that's a little No, off the chair. I don't know what you be doing. Where you find it? Where did you find that little piece of work right there? Little. Oh, what's up, everybody? Hey, B. Scott. She said she need you all to buy some ads to cover up the moving background. I know we have some training and camps that can advertise. Ooh, I like that little B Scott.
Go get some B Scott.
I like that little B Scott.
We give you a nice percentage of that money. You go find them, you get some of the money. We saw that real simple.
Huh? You feel me? Send me that little guy. Andy, Five, where you been today, man? What school out, man? What's up, D-Mars? D-Mars, your boy D-Mars on here, Jimmy. Let me see who else. Rick Brown. He said, we played everything. Did you play any sport? No, Rick, I ain't played nothing. I played golf. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Haller, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live, Houston, Texas. Broadcasting on the Power 101.5 FM. Jimmy, what we gonna take this last 30 seconds? Last 30 minutes. Are we gonna go into this?
Oh man,
because you seem to think this is I'm not surprised at this subject, but I just want to get your take, and then I'm gonna give you my little 2 cents.
Well, this is over recently. The Texas Association of Sports Officials. Mm-hmm. One of the men who was running for named Mike Atkinson.
Okay.
Right? Mike Atkinson was one of the he had rank among the officials.
Okay.
He was one of the guys that would normally call the state championship games and normally he was a fixture among the state, semifinals or finals.
Okay.
Every year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he ran for president of the organization. And from what I understand, he lost by a very narrow margin. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So upon him losing, he had a phone conversation, which we're not going to play for you guys.
No.
But because we don't have the beat.
So it was a phone conversation.
Yes, I heard the phone conversation.
I heard it on the tape. So what they wasn't right there together.
No.
Oh, okay. So it was a phone. They was on the phone. Because I heard it. I heard the tape. Yeah. Okay.
So in this conversation, he basically insinuated that the reason that he lost the race, the election, was because the opposing candidate, rallied a lot of the South Negroes. But he didn't say, what he said, right?
He said the N-word.
That's what that's their word. I don't even like saying N-word.
Okay.
I want to find another word,
Well, we ain't gonna find one right now. So when you find one, true. Okay.
Yeah. That way you kind of know where we going.
Okay.
Now, so he accused him a couple of times.
In other words, the only reason he won because them black dudes,
them triggers,
the black guys voted for you, but he didn't use black guys.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
So, and he went also he went deeper and said the word about a couple more times.
Yeah, he said
in the conversation.
I heard it. Yeah.
So now, as a result,
and he called some pivotal games. He built champion and black players on them teams. So it makes me think,
if that's the way you feel,
if that's that way you feel, you gonna get a white kid to call over the black team.
It's possible.
Yeah.
If it came down to a last second judgment call.
Okay, keep going.
As a result, the organization was prepared as gaining them a 2-game suspension to start the season, and the last three games of the season. So that's like sentencing you to 5 days in jail. But I'm gonna let you in, go do 2 days, let you out.
Okay.
Then you gotta come back and do 3 more days when at the end of the month. Okay. So this sentence is light because
the people who are the people that can penalize him and suspend him. Who is that board? What is that name of that board?
Well, the Texas Association of Sports Officials.
Guess what? Maybe they got some guys on the TASO, okay, that feel the same way he feels.
Oh, obviously, because they the
Okay.
one that handed the punishment.
That's what I'm saying.
The punishment was a light.
Yeah, I said, man, he just got caught, man. With it. Man, you gotta watch you take me on the phone the next time, buddy.
No, but they asked him now. Jerome Solomon,
Mm-hmm.
who works for the Houston Chronicle, and he has a television show, sports show, on one of the local affiliates during the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome Solomon did a piece on this while we were out of town, so I had to go back and find it. And Jerome Solomon, a good ally, and during the conversation, it was noted that not only did he get just the 2 days, 2 games, and 3 at the end, but they were questioning why, with the language that he used and the venom from which he spewed it, why just that? They're asking for more. And he himself, Jerome got this man Mike Atkinson on the phone, and he acknowledged that was him on the conversation.
Okay.
But he also says he was just playing, and they take it out of text. He was just playing with a colleague, and he thought,
I did play.
but then he came back and said, according to the Jerome Solomon, that he thought the conversation was private. So that's why he said it, what he said.
How can it be private if you're talking to somebody? So it's not private.
Well, he on the phone with somebody and thought they didn't know they was taping it.
Yeah, but you're still saying it to somebody.
So now
Uh-huh.
I've gotten a hold
Who you get a hold of?
of an email that one of the people from one of the members of the TASO has sent, right, to the president-elect is John Miller.
Okay.
And this is the African American who's pretty, has a good rank among African Americans.
Mr. Miller?
No,
Who?
no, Mr. Miller.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say the guy who sent the email.
Okay.
Who I got it from. I got a copy of the email from one of the. Now remember, these are mostly football guys.
Okay.
I mean reps. Some of them
Okay.
made basketball. This is Texas
These
stuff.
the tobacco chewing guys.
But this is Texas.
You chew that tobacco.
So, and I'll read the beginning. Understand, this is what they're trying to do. Is a lot of the African American officials are aggressively attempting to get the TASO, John Miller, which many of them voted for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they voted for him, and it's the same. Remember the other guy who lost the race, Mike
Right.
Atkinson called.
So John Miller the one won.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So they voted
said-
for John.
They voted for
The black vote.
the majority.
Yeah. According to Mr. Atkinson.
That's what he's saying.
Okay.
In the South,
Okay.
he say the South.
Okay.
Triggers.
Okay.
So this letter starts saying, "I am deeply hurt by the allegations or lack thereof demonstrated by the TASO has undoubtedly taken the position of feet dragging on issues that without question should be handled in the most expeditious and transparent manner. There is no place for this type of mindset that has been perpetuated by Mike Atkinson and people whom support his unsympathetic, toxic, and contemptuous language and sentiments."
I like the way you write.
Oh yeah, he said, "Let me be clear. Michael Fitch, Bill Theodore, Geoff Marolda, and anyone else within shouting distance should not be included in decision-making disciplinary processing of these
them his
matters."
body. Them the good old boy network.
That's
right?
exactly. Now, he goes on to say the N word, as you guys know it, carries with it so much hatred
Yes, it
and
does.
disgust directed toward African Americans for centuries. Historically, the N word defined, limited, and ridiculed all African Americans. It was a term of exclusion and a verbal reason for discrimination. Whether used as a noun, verb, or adjective, it is derogatory.
Do your thing.
By allowing Mike Atkinson to go severely unpunished would be sending a devastating and obtuse message to the TASO membership, especially the African American members, that TASO condones such vicious racism. And he goes on to say, "I've always heard that TASO operated under the good old boy system. But never in my wildest nightmares would I believe that this organization would and does stand by this type of egregious disrespect towards the whole ethnic group and race that's part of their membership. And he goes on down towards the end. I'm just fast forwarding, reading you. I'm just sharing you with guys with some of the excerpts from the letter that is pinned to the tassel that is seeking for a more valuable punishment.
You love this subject, man. Keep on going.
Yeah, he says it's absurd to give any other punishment that does not result in indefinite termination or suspension. TASO as an organization should immediately implement some sort of sensitivity training and immediately become transparent and forthright on all
I
these
get tired of sensitivity training stuff. Man, them folk know what they're doing. They get that. But you know what? I know we got 2 minutes left. We can talk about that. But Jimmy, what's her name? Madonna asked a great question. And I wanted you to get that out. She said, I always hear y'all talk about young men amateur basketball. What about the young women amateur basketball? I know I got to, she said, I know it's got to be some good prospects on the women's side as well as the fellows. Could you explain that to her about, I mean, I'm going to let you explain it to her. I know what my answer would be. But explain that to her why we are more dominant with boys basketball.
Well, because number one, a lot of the women that are the people that are on the women's side, they watch the show and remain and want to remain anonymous or not have their thoughts voiced. And that's for one. For one, in order to help solve the problem, you have to be willing to bring it to the middle of the table.
Yeah, because we don't cover it.
And that's the thing. We meant to talk about. We talked about it briefly last week when they had a women's event came in town, and Trey Phillips is probably one of the few that's on the site. Cynthia Guillory, she comes on every time from out of Dallas, and she'll give some pointers. But that's the thing. Collectively.
Yeah, so input equals output.
And that's what it does.
So Madonna, if you want to input, and we can talk about it, y'all have to input us. We don't cover women's basketball, but we will talk about it. When somebody brings up a top young prospect, we do talk about it. So we just don't, even on Women Rock Wednesday, you women should take over the show that day. But guess what? Sometimes you don't. But Chop Shop, we'll be back in a minute. We'll talk about it on the break, Jim.
Yeah. Now it says they putting blacks in the middle of a white boy feud.
Could be.
But hell, they're talking about. They're talking about you.
They're talking about you.
So they understand they're not putting you in it. You are the. See, that's the thing. I understand you, Elliot Johnson. But at the same time, you're in it now.
You in it? They mentioned, because I don't think they call them the N-word that much. So they talking about it.
Yeah, they talking about it. So at the same time, what are you going to do? That's the thing. And guess what? Here's the way I would attack it. See, I like to have possible solutions. How about your group, your allies? If you're listening right now and you're a sports official or a member of the TASO, there are several minorities that are athletic directors in Greater Houston. You follow me? How about you guys set up a meeting with that athletic director and let them know as his stance, if he's going to take that, because that referee could be refereeing one of his games that includes some of the black kids in his school district, and a call can come down, and that referee, it's going to happen. The law of averages say it is. So that means what he could do is, guess what? As a boycott, you can make a stand and say, I don't want this guy. Put him on our permanent scratch list.
And Jimmy, keep going.
And go to, so Aldine ISD has a minority. Houston ISD has a minority. Athletic director. Those are two. Beaumont ISD has a minority athletic director. Right? These are districts that has minority athletic directors that we know that I'm not Sheldon ISD. No, they have a minority superintendent. No. You go to the superintendent of Sheldon ISD. Understand what you can do. What you can do to help solve your problem. And so that's what you have to understand. You can go and do this. And guess what? If they have 7-on-7 or whatever, if he referees, you can go and help let people know where he will be at. That way they can probably simply make life hard on
Just
him.
boycott it.
Well, that's the way
They would do us like that.
Absolutely. So that's what you can do as a group. If it was a basketball ref, he could never referee in none of my events. If he does a basketball, you let me know. His ass won't be in my gym refereeing.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. Chop Shop, the nation's #1 every sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatt alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas on the Power 101.5 FM. Jimmy, some interesting stuff been happening since you was talking. You went off on your soliloquy on this Facebook feed. Trey Phillips, he said, myself and Chuck McGowan are here. Hold up, it messed me up. Hold up, y'all going too fast. He said we're here, and that's the most people are on there talking about women's sports. Have Dorian give a weekly update. Then we trying to put too much work for Dorian. So what we'll do, Dorian came back and told Trey, if you update me on it, he got you. Because y'all cover those events, we don't cover those events. So y'all, I guess they're gonna be like our roving reporters, you know. But then hold up now, y'all got to start supporting, because when we start talking about women issues and women things on Women Rock Wednesday, guess what happened? Tell them what happened sometimes, Jimmy.
Oh, I mean
The guys shut it off.
The numbers dropped.
The guys shut it off. So and then we got Odyssey said nobody really watches girls basketball except the parents of the girls and the AAU coaches and a few people who cover it. Average fans don't watch. So how do we get around that, Trey Phillips and Madonna and the people who concerned? We just want to, if it's something that we need to do, believe you me, the Chop Shop is going to be the first, you know, we would be first in line. But even the young women, the young guys, they always tweeting Jimmy and texting, I mean, what you call it, DMing. So we know what they do. You follow me? Their AAU coaches, their dads, they always keeping Jimmy abreast because Jimmy is the high school basketball guru. So if I was them, if I was the moms and dad of the people of the program, if your daughter is doing good, make sure and Jimmy, and I remember you were trying to do something to help women. I mean, you're just trying to find the right partner. You don't mind helping, partnering with a young girls basketball amateur thing.
As long as they're not attached to a summer program.
As long as they're not attached, the person cannot be attached to a summer program though.
I'm paying for trips out of town.
Yes.
I'm paying for the hotels. I'm reimbursing you for your gas.
Yeah.
I'm doing all that. And the job been open for any female to take it.
Yes.
But you can't be attached to no summer
you can't.
basketball.
You can't be. You got to be totally unbiased.
I'm not going to do that.
Right.
If I'm going to go in, you got to be unbiased. You got to know, be able to go up in that gym and watch those girls identify. And that's simple.
And that's simple.
So that who else offering you that?
I don't know.
Think about it. That's something to think about.
That's right. Dodo antenna went up.
No, she's a student athlete, so she'll be. That would be that'd be outside.
Dodo, how many more years you got there?
So she's a student athlete. That wouldn't be compliant.
Okay.
It'd be a straight violation.
Straight violation.
Yeah, because she'll be recruiting.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
A representative of the school.
So okay. Now, so it's out there. Madonna, I hope that answered a question. What else you got, Jim?
And so I want to remind you guys tonight, game one,
yes, sir.
NBA playoffs will kick at 8 p.m. Central Time, and that is the Golden State Warriors at the Toronto Raptors, and it's going down. I think Bottom line, I believe this is, if Toronto loses this game, then game 2 for Golden State becomes game 6 for Toronto. If Toronto loses, you understand what I'm saying? It would have the implications of a game 6 for Toronto. If they lose that game, then the game 3 for Toronto will be game 7. It'll be game 3 for Golden State. So Toronto has to make this series interesting, they have to win both games at home on Thursday and Sunday. Can Toronto do that? And the thing is, realistically, we would know once we see how things go tonight. That's why it's so intriguing. We can do all right now, all of the talk.
Well, we watching the game at tonight.
All of the pregame, all of the pre-chatter, everything goes out the window tonight. We will see who's going to put up or who's going to shut up at tonight. Expect for Boogie Cousins to try to give it a go, but at the same time, Steve Kerr has already insinuated in his system just how hard it's going to be to get him into a flow. Because remember, he tore that quad running back down the court.
Who?
Boogie.
Oh.
He tore the quad running back down the court. So that means you can't afford to limp or drag the leg in this situation.
And guess who else can't afford to be limping? Kawhi Leonard trying to guard one of my dudes. He better quit all that limping he was doing. You can't do that against these dudes right here. You can limp around on, what's the name of that team over there, the Milwaukee Bucks. You can't be limping around on these dudes right here. I'm just letting you know.
And get ready. It's almost time to land this plane, guys. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to Cypress Ranch baseball team, who would go and play in the Region 2 finals, right?
Okay.
They would take on McKinley Boyd. And
That was the picture that I want to see?
yeah.
Okay.
That game will be today. And of course,
I ain't going today.
no, they already won yesterday, 10-0.
Yeah.
They play today. They can wrap this
My
series
nephew
up.
played tonight.
And also shout Ridge Point and Kingwood will also play in the Region 3 finals. Anyway, guys, it's time to yabba dabba do this thing and slide on down Dino's back. We'll see you guys on Monday. It's time to get up out of here, boy. Coming up next, the Al Rucker Show is going to take you for the next 4 hours. Hang right there. But guess what? Chop shop. We up out of here. See you.
Oh!